Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. So before we get started, make sure to hit the like button, also subscribe to my channel. In this video, we will talk about the disturbing deaths of Kris Kremers and lisanne froon. So make sure to watch the full video. Two Dutch women, Kris Kremers, 21, and lisanne froon, 22, went on a 5 to 6 hour hike near Boquete, close to the continental divide of Panama on April 1, 2014. Kris and lisanne had come to Panama to study Spanish and volunteer to work with children in the community. Their remains were found 2 months later in mysterious circumstances, with the authorities claiming it was an accident, whilst Dutch private investigators working for the family were convinced that there was likely to be foul play involved. Certainly, the Panamanian authorities' explanation had many holes in their theory that the two women had fallen off a cable bridge across a river and were washed away. What happened to the Hollandesas is the subject of much speculation. With disturbing photographic evidence of their last days, including the mysterious missing picture number 509 and plenty of unanswered questions. There have been many theories that have raged across internet forums in the years since their tragic deaths. But for now, the case continues to raise questions, despite its official conclusions. The Kremers and froon trip to Latin America. After saving for some time to go on a graduation trip, on March 15, 2014, Dutch students Kris Kremers, 21, and lisanne froon, 22, got on a plane at Amsterdam Airport to travel to Costa Rica in Latin America. From there, they traveled to Bocas del Toro in Panama. They spent some time on the coast, learning some Spanish and enjoying the local food and drink, and met two Dutch travelers who were visiting the area at the time. 2 weeks after arriving in Panama, on March 29th, they moved to Boquete, a city on the west side of the country. Boquete is a small mountain town in Panama, located in the westernmost province of Chiriquí, about 37 miles, 60 kilometers, from the border with Costa Rica. It is situated on the Caldera River in Panama's Green Mountain Highlands. Because of its elevation, 3,900 ft, 1,200 meters, above sea level, its climate is cooler than that of the lowlands. Its scenic location, temperature, and natural environment make it popular with Panamanians and attracts tourists and retirees from all over the world. Lisanne had just graduated with a degree in applied sciences in September 2013, and Kris was studying for a degree in cultural social education. The two women from Amersfoort in the Netherlands met whilst working at the In Den Kleine Hop restaurant in Amsterdam, and they both rented rooms in the same student house. Together, they saved up for 6 months for a trip to Panama as a graduation celebration for lisanne. They had arrived in Panama on March 15, 2014 for a 6-week vacation, 4 of which were to be spent living with a host family while they worked as volunteers in Boquete, teaching local children in the school and learning Spanish. But when they arrived at the home of their host family, lisanne and Kris were told their jobs were to start in a week, rather than immediately as they had expected. So they decided to take the time to explore the area around Boquete whilst they waited for their job to start. The La Pianista hike near Boquete in Panama. On April 1, 2014, they left Boquete in good weather at mid-morning to hike the La Pianista Trail, an up and down path, hence the name. They planned to hike to the summit around 8 kilometers from the city, and a taxi dropped them off at the start of the trail. According to the driver, it was mid-afternoon, but the evidence from the lady's camera suggested it was around 11 a.m. It should take a reasonably fit person 2.5 to 3 hours to reach the summit, so it was a 5 to 6 hour round trip. They had posted on Facebook about going to explore the area and meeting up with fellow Dutch travelers for brunch that morning. They took with them a dog from the village and set out. They set out on the walk with light clothing, tank tops and shorts, together with a light backpack containing passports, a water bottle, a Canon PowerShot SX270 digital camera, some money, around $80, and their cell phones, an iPhone and Samsung Galaxy. The area beyond the trail is very rugged, steep, and dangerous, particularly during the April to October wet season, where areas become treacherous and even the indigenous Go tribe tread warily. The trail runs from the Chiriquí State into the province of Bocas del Toro, crossing steep river gorges up to 70 feet deep which need to be crossed using cable bridges. Kris and Lisanne reached the summit around 1 p.m., and it seems for some reason they decided to carry on beyond. Normally tourists turn around at this lookout point at the top of the Pianista Trail to walk the same path back to Boquete. There are signs placed at this spot nowadays warning people not to keep walking further without a guide because of the treacherous terrain ahead. They had looked the trail up on the computer the days prior to the hike and may have thought they still had time to walk on towards a waterfall deeper in the jungle. They were not equipped for a prolonged period in the forest with no food or survival gear. Hikers who plan to go off into the more adventurous areas usually pay guides and take specialist equipment and supplies to last for days, including tents, food, and rainproof clothing. Kris and Lisanne failed to return from their La Pianista hike. Later that evening on April 1, the dog's owners were alarmed when their dog returned, without any sign of the two women. The women were reported missing 2 days later on April 3, after the family they were staying with and a local guide, who was due to take them to a national park nearby on April 2, grew concerned. After they were declared missing, authorities put dog teams on the ground in helicopters, but initial searches proved fruitless, even with the help of local residents. On April 6, Kris and Lisanne's parents, together with Dutch detectives, flew to Boquete and started a larger search with specialized search and rescue teams, as well as sniffer dogs, which went on for a further 10 days. But still nothing. There was no sign of the women or their belongings. The parents were also offering a $30,000 reward. Lisanne was known to have asthma and complained to her host family of shortness of breath. Her asthma, paired with altitude change and panic caused by being lost, may have impacted her ability to survive the ordeal. The discovery of the backpack. 10 weeks later, in June 2014, a local woman found the backpack in a rice paddy on the bank of the Culebra or Serpent River, near the village of Alta Romero, around 10.5 miles, 17 kilometers, from Boquete and 5 miles, 8 kilometers, from the summit of the La Pianista Trail. It was estimated that at around an 8-hour walk from their last known location, and the village was in a very remote area which would have been difficult to reach on foot. Around the same time, Kris Kremers' jean shorts were discovered on a narrow piece of land between two fast-flowing and powerful tributaries. The Ngode people who found the shorts said they found them zipped and folded and placed on a rock high above the water. Police from the Justice Department picked up the pack from the woman using a helicopter. They assumed it had drifted to the area in the river, but the backpack contents were dry and undamaged, and the bag looked in good condition despite weeks in the jungle or river. Furthermore, the finder said she was sure the pack was not in the location the day before. Heavy rain had hit the area in the prior few weeks, so it would be expected that everything would be soaked through, suggesting it had been placed there prior to its discovery by persons unknown. Lisanne's asthma inhaler was not among the belongings recovered. Investigators determined that the belongings had 34 different fingerprints, with 13 on the bag. Some DNA was also detected on the backpack contents, but none led to any serious leads for the police. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. Before you go, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.